Hello. This afternoon I will be your host as we briefly discuss the topic of harmony in this Transformation of Renewal series. My name is Alex TD, and this is a look on the surface. In this next transformational series of renewal, we find that we take something that is or that was and creating something anew of or within that same thing. So it's as if creating something new once again. You can think of it perhaps like a snakeskin or a lobster shell. Something grows and expands, or even on a more basic level, we age, we grow and experience, and at certain points in our lives, we feel a constriction as we begin to outgrow our comfort zone. We outgrow the shell that we're currently in. And so that process that takes place in breaking free of that shell, releasing the tension of that constriction, and then moving forward in a very raw, exposed, vulnerable state. And it remains that way for a time until the shell or the skin grows and forms around it once again. And during that raw, vulnerable, exposed period, we just hope that nothing more or nothing too bad that we can't handle happens to us during that time. Because it can be a handful, maybe more than what one could handle in two handfuls. That's a difficult point of life for something like that to occur. There's no denying this. In the late stages of renewal, we find once again that it is possible to move about freely. No longer do we have the pain of the constriction of the way that we were, or the way that our lives were taking place around us. It's a form of freedom. And as we grow into these various new stages, renewed stages of freedom, we then find ourselves capable of exploring and navigating through the world around us in a much different capacity. And as arduous or as painful as it may be to get to those points in our life, it's actually something very beautiful to look forward to. It may not look or feel that way on the way there, but anyone who knows they've gotten past a bad point in their life, they know, you know, on the other side of that proverbial fence was a life that you may not have even dreamed or imagined of prior to that. So until we reach that point, things are scary, things are unknown to us. And this segues us into the topic for today of harmony. What to do? What to do about harmony? Harmony is this beautiful dance, if you will, between one thing and another. There's no competition, there's no overbearance. There's simply one thing and the other. And they see and experience and are present with one another. And they may do this for a time, getting to know, to understand one another. And as they do, they grow in comfort and they grow closer until they're able to have this dance with one another in greater harmony. And as they become more integrated, so to speak, now it's much more intimate. It's wonderful, beautiful, unlike anything that you could imagine or experience. And maybe at times you have. So where has all of this harmony gone? How is it that we are moving through life, experiencing such grave numbers, grave amounts of disharmony? How is it that, due to recent global events, that we are experiencing even more additional emphasis on the disharmony that is present in our lives? For us individually, for those that are around us immediately, and for those that are out of arm's reach. Well, as mentioned before, there's a fear present. There's an uncertainty or unknowing that has taken place. We have lost, perhaps even foregone, the benefits of that dance of harmony. The requirements to cover our faces is one obvious example of how we create something unknown. It becomes a secret, but not a secret in a sense of naturally deserved privacy, but a secret that perhaps poses threat or is dangerous in some way, shape, or form. And since we as a society no longer, in cultures even, since we no longer have the same forms of threat that we once did, as our long ago ancestors once did, now all of our problems and threats and dangers come in the form of social aspects, communicative aspects, relational aspects. These are where our problems become emphasized. More regularly since the dawn of social media. With this example of covering our faces and how this creates uncertainty and a factor of an unknown, when instinctually, as social creatures, as human beings, we require these elements to not be present in order for us to instinctually feel safe. And now it's as if we've created a landmine field. Everywhere we go, everywhere we look, everywhere we turn, there is an instinctual, unknown factor present. And unfortunately, this covering, hiding, secretive factor is being associated with other human beings. So we are undergoing this very extensive conditioning process as a result. This is not so good. Even at such a time that we may no longer have to abide by these mandates, that conditioned association will still be present in the minds, in the hearts, and the bodies of us all. Take some time after this recording to process that, to consider and imagine what kind of world that may be like. And notice whatever thoughts, feelings, or sensations come to you in processing that kind of world. And as you do, begin then to consider the positive or beneficial opposite that you would prefer to see instead. We need to face the disharmony that has become overemphasized thanks to recent events. It is only then, when we look at this disharmony, that we can then begin to unveil, uncover the scary things, the unknown things. And it may take us some time to decompress from this conditioning, but after that unveiling and uncovering of ourselves, to ourselves and to one another, we can once again begin to participate in that dance of harmony and come to know each other, grow in comfort with one another once again, and eventually become more intimate with one another in the way that we connect, and even in the way that we view or look at or think about others. There's a reason why instinctually we have more courage during the day than we do at night. We associate the scary things with the darkness. And it is only in presenting the light, even in the darkness, that we can come to dance with one another and begin to reunite the harmony that we all seem to be craving for. That'll be all for now. I thank you for your time. My name is Alex TD, and this has been a look on the surface.